You. Governor Hobbs is responding to criticism of the Arizona Department of Child Safety. It comes as the agency investigates their handling of reports that a child showed signs of abuse. That child would eventually be murdered. 12 News journalist Sean Rice pressed the governor for answers today. And Sean, what did she say?
Yeah, Tram, I spoke to Hobbs this morning. She restated many of the things the Arizona Department of Child Safety has already told us, that 10-year-old Rebecca Baptiste's death will be thoroughly investigated. Her family and former educators at Empower College Prep here in Phoenix, that's where she attended school for 3 years. They both have called for accountability amid claims that DCS could have done more. Now, Rebecca was found unresponsive while in her father's care. This was back on July 27th. She would pass away at Children's Hospital in Phoenix 3 days later, and her father, Richard Baptiste, has been charged with her murder. Now, 12 News obtained audio from Apache County court hearings that have taken place in the last week. In these murder hearings, this is where prosecutors revealed the full extent of Rebecca's injuries. These are some of them here on your screen. She was found with severe bruising, markings from being slapped repeatedly with a belt. She had small burns all over her body from the end of cigarette butts that were found in her dad's possession. She was also found in a state of dehydration and malnutrition. Prosecutors also say her cause of death may have been what's called a subdural hematoma. That's a type of bleeding that happens in the brain after multiple blows to someone's head. Now, in previous days, I've spoken with leaders at Empower College Prep who say they alerted DCS multiple times to signs of abuse. And this morning, I asked Governor Hobbs for answers.
There's been a lot made this week of a DCS case involving the murder of a 10-year-old girl up in Apache County named Rebecca Baptiste. We spoke with educators in Empower School where she was enrolled for 3 years. They talked about multiple attempts to get DCS involved. On 4 separate occasions, they were told follow-up would be conducted. They don't know if it ever was. Should the public have faith in DCS's leadership?
First, let me say this is obviously a very tragic situation, and we are certainly looking into what happened. The information we had at the agency prior to this case and what led up to her death. We're certainly going to be investigating, and if there was something that we did not do right, we will do everything we can to correct that. That is our job. It is our responsibility to ensure Arizonans are safe, and we'll fix what went wrong if that's the case.
Have you spoken with DCS leadership specifically about this case and asked questions at all?
We have, and I can't go beyond that. There's an investigation going on right now.
And Rebecca also has 2 brothers, one older brother, one younger brother, who survived the alleged abuse at the hands of their father. They both are now in DCS custody. Now today, Arizona Republican Senator Karen Werner announced that a series of meetings will take place next month with leaders from DCS, law enforcement, and lawmakers from both sides of the aisle. Senator Werner called Rebecca Baptiste's murder a, quote, tragedy, and said it's up to lawmakers to ensure that the child welfare system is strong, Tram, and that they can do everything they can to prevent this from happening again. A child really falling through the cracks is what happened here.
I mean, it is such a horrific case when you learn about the details, you know, the burns, the belt that was used. There are so many, signs of the abuse, and the fact that these reports that the school tried to help and nothing happened. The child died.
Yeah, these are not easy decisions. I mean, we've gone back and forth with DCS over the last couple of days asking a lot of questions, dozens of questions we've asked of them. And one thing they always tell us is that reunification with parents should always be the goal. Getting them into the foster care system or the group home situation is never beneficial and should always be a last resort. A lot of the evidence they have to collect has to be extremely strong in order to convince a court to remove children from their parents' custody. A lot of people would agree that's the way it should be, but in special circumstances like this one, I think more needed to be done.
Exactly. I mean, when you talk about reunifying with the original family, but what happens when that family should have never had the child in the first place in their care in a situation like this? You just don't know.
You don't know. And the mom, we get questions, where's the mom in this situation? The mom, from conversations we've had with other family members, is completely out of the picture. And so there was an initial custody arrangement that the father had Family members have told us he lost custody because of some alcohol abuse issues. And at that point, he was able to regain custody a couple of years ago. And most recently is when the school had been reporting a lot of that in the last year. Yeah. And so, again, these are not easy decisions. And a lot of this, they're really taking a good hard look at, right. DCS is telling us, to prevent it from happening again.
Yeah, hopefully never.
Yeah.
All right,
Hopefully
Sean,
never.
thank you. I know you'll have more coming up at 5.